Welcome to Doozer shop. It's Monday night. I'm tired. But I was out here late last night, Sunday, working on the Colchester 17-inch lathe, doing a job, and I ran into some issue, and I've not done a lot of jobs on this lathe. I did those rims that you probably saw in my video. Let me go handheld, and I'm going to show you what I found, okay? Grab my flashlight. I got this Harbor Freight. Love this thing. Anyways, let me turn you around. Alright, we're on patrol in Doozer shop. Well, I've got the tailstock from the Colchester 17 hanging on the chain from my overhead hoists. Okay. And why? Well, I'll show you why. I'm working on the tailstock bar spindle for the Handy. It's like part 38 or something. But I tried, I tried centering it up in I had it centered in the 4-jaw chuck. I wanted to drill a center hole. I'm going to kneel down, turn on the light. There's the flash lamp. And the center hole had this little nub in the center. If you can see it, the little area where it just didn't cut. So the center bit was actually high by about 30 thousandths, okay? I know it's just going to blow right out. But you can see that it left a little nib in the middle. So it was cutting high, and I'm like, what's going on? Well, the tailstock, right? So this is the tailstock. Let me lean down. All right, so it's got a couple steps in the surface, and it was full of rust. And that's the side-to-side guideway. A little prismatic V-way situation there. And the center is slotted because there's like a big nut you tighten down and da-da-da-da. So that's the split line. And the base is in the parts washer, right? Doozer's parts washer with his oil can collection. So there it is, and this was rusty. And I stoned it, deburred it with a file, stoned it. And it had some, some rust, some pitting type rust on the multiple steps of the surface and whatever, but it's clean. It's clean now. In between, the files, right? And I've got some flat stones. One's flatter than the other. So it had shims in it. No wonder it was high. I had to use that 1 5/16 wrench to take it apart. So it had these shims, right? And darn were they rusty. But they're about 25 thousandths thick. Oops. They're just bullshit camera, but whatever. Hopefully, by taking them shims out, it'll be right. Sits on there, right? The whole dealio. I'm trying to indicate the tailstock, and it's got more run out than the darn indicator has traveled. So I hope that'll fix it. I'm up over my gap. It'll go over the gap, which is too high. That gap being high was weird. Okay. I almost think the gap is from another lathe. It does have a telescopic lead screw, because you can take that nut off and the screw will go back. But for the taper attachment, which I stuck upstairs, you can't maybe see it, but the screw has to come out more with a straight shaft for a bearing that'll clamp into the tailstock, that'll clamp into the taper attachment. So there's a strong possibility that that's not the right gap for this lathe, and there's a strong possibility that that's not the right lead screw for this lathe. And it's a strong possibility that the tailstock is not from this lathe. Because why would you shim a tailstock high by 30 thousandths? That it doesn't make sense. You know, the work I've done, you know, this linkage, and I've done so much work with this lathe. Rebuilt the apron, all the stuff with the handles and the oh God, I've done so much stuff with this lathe. But I don't know. Interesting. So, you know, I got my chain hoists up there. That's old. That's probably from the 40s or the 50s. Let me get a better. That's 1 ton. Yale in town, 1 ton. This Columbus McKinnon's also a 1 ton. And will they hold the same? Well, that one's got a lot more safety factor. That I wouldn't trust an ounce over 1 ton. But I like having them both in the shop, and got that all picked up. Oh, this is great. Use a little Astro pneumatic die grinder with the 2-inch cup wheel to take the rust off. That works great. If you can get the fine bristles, get the fine. Mediums, not. Fine's better than medium if you can find it. So, there you go. All right, well, that's that. Just gave you a little quick synopsis of what I've been working on. I'm tired tonight. I just came out here, shot the video. You might find this cool. So that's what holds the split base to the tailstock. This is 1 inch, 12 threads. Little nut. I had to work to clean these threads up. Always something. Looks like a piece of 3/4 pipe, but it's not. Anyways, thought I'd show you the tailstock. I hope when I put it together without the shims that it's on center. If it's still too high, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Grind something, mill something. I love it. All right. Hope you have a good night. Until next time, this is Doozer Shop.